Saucony Tempus 2. Man, there are some shoes that are just so bland looking. I don't even think I can give it a bada boom, bada bang. This just looks like a shoe. And if you are looking for a shoe that just looks like a shoe, sign up for the Supwell app. You guys already knew I was gonna say Supwell app. So here's the thing, Supwell app, price just went up to $5 per month today. That is the new tier for pricing. So if you are looking to join the best community of hobby joggers, come and join us. We have nearly 2,000 people in there. Buy, sell, and trade marketplace. We're launching the Supwell Kitchen channel where we're gonna be posting the best vegan runner nutrition and the best runner nutrition out there. We also have the best training forums out there. So if you have any questions on your training, you can ask and answer from fellow hobby joggers. And it's also just daily motivation. People are posting their runs. People are posting their successes. People are posting their difficulties and getting support from their fellow hobby joggers. So come and join us. Supwell app, $5 per month. I'll see you in there. Enjoy today's video.
What is up, guys? I have my coffee here. I'm finishing breakfast. It is Monday morning, 7:33 a.m. Hold on, let me drink my coffee. Now, we are going to be doing indoor shoe market this morning because it is very cold outside. Can you see how cold it is outside? You can see, look at that. You can see the gray mist and that sun coming through. It is cold. I mean, look over there. Look at the orange of the trees and the gray mist. It is cold. By the way, we're packing up all the last few shirts and hobby jogger hats today. But this morning we have the Saucony Tempus 2 in for an overview and a first run review. This was a moderately requested shoe, but my friend Emily Berry, she requested me to review this, I think 3 or 4 times. And man, if you guys watch the channel consistently and you request shoes and you have shoes that you want me to buy so that I can either tell you they're bangers or to save your money, let me know. That's why this channel exists. So Emily requested this 3 or 4 times. She said, please try the Tempus 2. My general rule is I don't buy upper updates. So this is the Tempus 1, the OG Tempus. Really solid shoe. I only ran it a few times because I was late to it, but I actually did a 20-mile long run in it and it performed really well. That's why people loved it. It is a stability shoe with some elements that you find in race shoes. It has a real race foam in here, the Power Run PB, and this is not a nerfed version. This isn't a fake version of Power Run PB. This is legit. So in the Tempus 2, all they've done is change the upper. The reason I don't typically buy upper updates is because you can find the last version of these shoes on sale. Now, Running Warehouse still doesn't have this anymore, the Tempus 1, but I'm sure you could find it on Amazon or Sierra or one of those other not Russell Wilson's wife. I don't think she would wear this, but one of those other websites that has deals, you could probably find this for under $100. So I typically don't buy them, but you guys wanted to see this. Emily requested it. A few other people requested it. Hold on here, breaking the fourth wall. So I actually completely forgot. This is what happens when you run 30 miles. Your brain doesn't work sometimes. I've completely forgot. The other reason I bought this shoe and tested it right now is because it is on sale on Running Warehouse for $120 until December 2nd. I don't think the Supwell discount code works on this. I don't think it does, just because it works on some clearance shoes, not on others. This is just a temporary sale until December 2nd, but that's why I bought it. So I forgot to mention this throughout the video. It is $120 right now. It's not $160. So that makes it a much better deal. So keep that in mind throughout the rest of the video. It's $120 until December 2nd. It is currently, November 19th, November 18th today. So for 2 more weeks, the Tempus 1 will be on sale for $120. All right, enjoy the video. So Tempus 1 here, you can see on the back, extremely stiff and rigid heel counter, as is typical for a stability shoe. They also have this, Saucony used to do this, I don't even know what you'd call it, but they put the laces through an additional support piece here. It's a very structured feeling upper, so potentially they've changed that, but the midsole is going to be the same. So Power Run PB foam, and then this firmer Power Run foam here. So Tempus is a stability shoe. And look at this, Saucony has another stability shoe in their lineup with the same exact foam combination. So this is the Hurricane. If you guys watch this channel, you know I completely Love this thing. Absolute banger. Top layer of foam. Here is that Power Run PB. I actually think it might be tweaked slightly in here. It could be the same thing. Maybe it's different, but way different feel in the Hurricane versus the Tempus. Hurricane also has this cradle of firmer EVA foam on the bottom. So this has more of a max cushion cruiser feel. The Hurricane does versus the Tempus. It's more of a beefy stacked shoe, and if you just look at these side by side, you can see, hold on, I had to get the lighting right. You can see side by side, the Tempus has a lot less cushion under here, also less width. The Hurricane is all about giving you the utmost in support and decently comfortable upper. If they've put this upper on the Tempus, that would be great. One of the issues though I do have with these Saucony shoes is the toe box, especially for my left foot. My left foot is slightly bigger, I think, can be narrow, and some other people have pick that up as well. Around this side, we can get some rubbing in these Saucony shoes. So another one of the Saucony stability shoes. They have the Tempus, they have the Hurricane, they also have the Guide. I'm not even going to bring out the Guide today. I do have a few more other Saucony and stability shoes right here, but let's take this thing out, do an overview. By the way, this box here, I think Saucony can refresh their boxes. Does it make a difference to the shoe? No, it doesn't, but it's just looking a little tired, this branding here, so they should change it. All right, let's see. Is this going to be a dad drip certified colorway? Bada boom, bada bang. Extremely basic. Oh my goodness. Wow. This might be the most basic colorway I've ever purchased in my life. The thing is, the colorways for this were not good. They just were not good. I don't know why it's hard for brands. There's some brands that just can't make good colorways. Saucony is one of them on their mainstream shoes, but the thing is, look at this. I know they can make a good colorway because this is an absolute heater. If they went with this same scheme here, that creamy tan gray with the maroon, that would have been fire. But instead, I don't even know what this is. It was just gray. I think the gray spoke to me, but then the orange accents, not that clean. They could have gone gray, all gray upper with the gum sole, would have been cool. There's a few ways they could have gone with this, or just all white. Give us an all white. They also had a woman's colorway. That's the other thing brands will do. They'll make a fire women's colorway and then just give the men mid colorways. So not a fan of the colorway here, but let's see. Wow, this feels small in my hands. It is a 10.5. Okay. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the colorway, but let's take a look at the comparison between these two. You can see midsoles are identical. Exact same. Outsoles are the exact same. Everything about the contouring is the exact same. Where the differences start coming into play is the upper. So let's see. Back still has that rigid piece, but they've had more padding. Is it more padding? No. Slightly. So, yeah, it seems that the heel counter stops at a slightly different place. A little bit more padding around the back. Softer heel area in general. More padded tongue. Yeah, this tongue in the front of the Tempus 1, this is not that great. And the laces, there's just a lot of lacing here. They've cleaned that up, added more padding. And then it has more of this soft knit material on the Tempus 2 versus Tempus 1. This is more of a performance, almost a race performance fit. So they've transitioned this from being a slightly racier upper. Also, this just looks outdated. This upper, it looks like it's from 2019. This looks more modern, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the design. So more comfortable upper, more padding, same exact midsole setup. So you do have the Power Run PB race foam with the cradle of firmer EVA. Reason people love this thing, this was a cult classic, by the way. This is one of those sleeper hits that all 2022, 2023, if you said you wanted a slightly stable, fast daily trainer, people would recommend the Tempus. Reason being, there's not a lot of race shoes or stability shoes out there that have the race foam. This is one of the few stability shoes that have the race foam. The thing is, there's a lot of new shoes on the market that take stability elements and introduce them to non-stability shoes. Let me grab one. So Exhibit A, Hoka Mach X2. If you take a look at the back here, you get a wide base. You also have a similar foam setup as the Tempus, where you have a firmer foam and then a softer race foam. So in the case of the Tempus, you actually have the softer race foam on the bottom and then the firmer EVA cradle on the top and the back, and it switches in the front. The Hoka Mach X2, you have the firmer foam all around. So while this is not a stability shoe, the Mach X2, it does have those elements of decently wide base, plastic plate stabilizing the foam, and then look at this yellow foam wrapping up the sides to provide that cradle, introducing stability elements into a mainstream training shoe. Brands know that a lot of runners right now are looking for some stability in their shoes. So look at that. And then exhibit B, bang, the Brooks Glycerin Max, or Brooks Glizzy Max, as they say on the streets. Same exact thing. You get a super duper trooper wide base. Look at the base of the Glizzy versus the Tempus. So it's no longer the case where you just have these lightweight, no frills speed shoes as your option for an everyday running shoe. The market is so broad right now. So the Tempus has lost some of its appeal even just in the last 2 years since it was introduced. There's so many options for runners who want some stability in their everyday shoe. So that's my main question today. With all of the great new daily trainers, speed shoes, even race shoes that have stability, the Mach X2 isn't the only speed-oriented shoe that has some stability in it. Does the Tempus still have a place in the market? Why would we get the Tempus over something like the Mach X2? And one more thing here, compared to its brethren here, it's not a brethren, this is an enemy, New Balance 860 V14. This is a $140 stability shoe, similar dual foam setup, one of the best daily trainers of the year. It's comfortable, it's versatile, it's smooth. Why would you get the Tempus over this? How do these two shoes compare? And how does the Tempus slot in to the stability market in general? So with that, let's weigh this guy in and see how it compares to his competitors. Man, I don't know how I feel about this whole indoor shoe market thing. I might need to just bundle up and go outside. The thing is really cold, and I'm not trying to be freezing. But let me know what you guys think about the indoor shoe market for the winter. So let's throw in the Tempus V1 first. This is 285 grams. That is standard for a daily trainer. Now this has the combination foam midsoles, or the dual foam. So you have the standard and the race foam. Let's compare it to the Tempus 2 now. Let's see, did the changes lighten it up? Did the upper changes lighten it up? Not really. 283 grams. Let's see how that does compared to some other shoes in the segment. So 860 V14, as I mentioned, versatile shoe. This is probably the best beginner running shoe out there. If you're just looking for one shoe to do everything, slow runs, fast runs, long runs, marathon training, whatever it might be, I would highly recommend the 860, especially if you're not sure if you're going to need extra support or you're coming off of a more sedentary lifestyle. The 860 is going to be great. So this is 306 grams heavier. Now this does have a slightly denser foam. This thing is not going to bottom out. I took this on a 21-mile long run and it was great. However, it's heavier because it doesn't have the race foam. So that's really the main draw of the Tempus, only stability shoe on the market still, or the only shoe that's being billed as a stability shoe that has that PIBA, that has that polyether block gamma. There is one other shoe that has race foam, and that is the Brooks Hyperion 2 GTS. Brooks Hyperion 2 go-to support. So let's throw on a Brooks, another stability shoe. This is a low-key banger. This is the Brooks Adrenaline GTS 24. This is one of those shoes where if you walk into a local running store, you might walk out with this if you're looking for your first shoe. It's comfortable. It has a higher drop, so the back is 12 millimeters higher than the front. But I ran a half marathon in this out of the box, and it was great. It's one of those shoes that just gets the job done. It's a workhorse. It's not the trendiest. It's not the coolest. It's not going to be the most hyped like an Adidas Evo SL. But man, it's a banger. It's a banger if you just want something comfortable, similar to that 860. So this is coming in at 314.5 grams. So you can see here, let me get the scale out of the way just real quick. This is the continuum of stability shoes. We have the Tempus all the way over here. This is the lightest weight option. That's why people love it. It's more energetic. It's going to give you some more pop underfoot. You have the 860, which is that also more modern shoe. And by the way, this has a plastic piece in it. It's almost like a plate, this red piece, where it is a plate. They call it the stability plane. It's essentially a plastic plate in here. So they're introducing some more modern elements into the 860. And then the Adrenaline GTS 24, you have these more traditional support pieces on the inside and outside of the shoe. And this guy is the heaviest. So most modern shoe, Tempus, 860. This is a modern workhorse. And then Adrenaline, this is the old school pick, also 12 millimeters drop here. And look at that, most padded upper as well. The Brooks is super comfortable. So this is how I think about these stability shoes. Speed in the Tempus, versatility in the 860, also some versatility and protection in the Adrenaline, but this is going to give you that higher drop. So if you need some more cushion and support around the back of the shoe, that's where you're going to get it in the Adrenaline versus 8 millimeter drop in both the 860 and the Tempus. I like an 8 millimeter drop. I can run in a 12 millimeter drop as well. I can run in a 4 millimeter drop. It's good to rotate between types of drops. There's actually a lot of overlap between the Tempus and the 860. So we'll see how it does out there on the run today if it really did change character. But if I were a stability runner or I ran a lot of stability shoes, I likely wouldn't have both the Tempus and the 860. Maybe I would do something like this, rotate between two different types of daily trainers. And even if you're not a stability runner, even if you typically run in neutral shoes, I like having a stability shoe in the lineup for those days where I do want some extra support. So let's compare it to just for funsies to the Hoka Mach X2 speed training shoe here, 268. So this is more of a neutral shoe, aggressive marathon training shoe. It's not the most aggressive, but more aggressive than the Tempus. This is lighter as well at 268 grams. And then I did want to throw on, this is a recent Saucony banger to come into the house here, Saucony Surge 3. I struggled a lot with Saucony this year, and personally, I felt they've lost their way, especially with the hobby jogger segment over the past 12 to 24 months. In 2022, they were on fire, on a heater. Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. That's when they dropped the Tempus V1 over here. They were dropping so many good shoes in 2022, and then last year they tailed off. This year they came out with the Triumph, which was not a widely liked shoe, and I did not like it. And they completely changed their lineup. It's not as much value there. So this is one of the shoes that, for me, has been a sleeper hit from Saucony this year. I just got it last week, but it looks great. It is super comfortable, great insole. By the way, foam is nice and bouncy. It's only $60 right now on Saucony's website. It is the Surge 3. And if you want a comfortable but affordable max cushion shoe, this is it. And it proves Saucony still can make a solid shoe when they want to, like the Tempus, hopefully, and like this one, the Surge 3, but they've just gone in a different direction this year, trying to do something different with their products. Not quite working. The Saucony Endorphin Speed 4 was another one that, man, the Speed 3 was such a great shoe. The Speed 4, they completely changed it and ruined it. So, I mean, maybe that's a good thing that they didn't completely change this shoe and ruin it. They just changed the upper. It's hard to mess up an upper update. They kept the magic of what people love, which is the midsole. But let's throw this guy on. Bada boom, bada bang, 331 grams. So this is not using a race foam. This is using Saucony's Power Run Plus foam, which was in the Triumph. It's a dense, very protective, supportive, bouncy compound, but it's not going to be the lightest weight. This is not going to be a speed training shoe. This is that comfort walking or nice, relaxed mile shoe. And last, just for fun, let's throw on. Actually, no, hold on. One more. Compare it to the Hurricane before we do the for fun one. This is also a heavy guy, 330 grams. So you can see Max Stack, and the Hurricane. Let's throw on the Glizzy Max just because I brought it out. Let's see where this guy comes in. Also Max Stack. So these Max Stack shoes are all around 330 grams. And then if we put the Tempus on, you'll see this guy much lighter at 283 grams. So that's the whole benefit of this shoe. You get some of the support, but at a lighter weight from the race foam. Let's do a QA check. 283. 285.5. Look at that. That's great. Shout out to Saucony. Man, look at this. The chickens absolutely destroyed our mulch here, and I think I can hear them. Yeah, this is getting crazy. This is legit getting crazy. These guys are destroying my property. I might not be vegan after this. Watch out. What am I supposed to do? Do I go knock on my neighbor's door and say, your chickens are destroying my property? Can you contain your chickens? That just seems a little drastic. All right, stepping into the Tempus here. Tempus 2. Man, I don't know. So I had the Tempus on my foot Saturday. This feels exactly like the Tempus 1. This does not feel, initially here, this does not feel different at all. Let me just go grab the other one quickly just to do a quick side-by-side, but I am not feeling a whole lot of change in the structure of this upper. I mean, the material feels softer and different, but on foot feels nearly identical. Hold on, let me grab it. All right, lacing up the initial Tempus. The upper, the lacing part of it is definitely better on the Tempus 2, but just in terms of the feel on foot, it's not that different. Yeah, man, I mean, so far, I'm going to go ahead and say if you can find a Tempus 1 on sale, go ahead and bang that sale, because this doesn't feel too different. But let's do a quick walk test here. Tempus V1 versus V2. Yeah, on foot, this is still a very comfortable shoe. Great support throughout, nice smooth roll. That's the other thing with the shoe. It has a nice rocker. So again, another modern element that wasn't traditionally on stability shoes up until a few years ago. Has that nice rocker. It has the race foam. The upper is comfortable, but I'm not noticing a huge difference just in feel. I personally don't even feel uppers generally, and this upper is thicker, so it's pretty cold today. I'm actually going to throw on some gloves for this run, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to make a huge performance difference. If anything, it might be a warmer upper, which is not going to be great for summer. But they didn't mess anything up, at least in the fit and feel. It fits true to size. Man, my left big toe is hurting right now. I think it was from the Rebel that I ran. The Action Bronson Rebel just destroyed my legs. It was too small, and I think I tweaked my calf, or just have some calf tightness from when I ran in it last week. So I don't know, but yeah, that one was short, so my big toe was jamming up, and then I ran 30 miles in the Evo SL yesterday, and by the end of that run, my toe was jamming up. So my toe is not jamming on this, and plan for this run, we were only going to do 8 miles, so hopefully it's not too big of an issue, but my big toe is sore. But I don't think you can run 30 miles and come away completely unscathed, and I'll take a little big toe soreness. That's my only major complaint after that 30-miler. All right, I'm going to put the other one on, and then let's do this thing. So I am ultra marathon training officially now. I'm going to be running my first ultra December 7th. It's in West Virginia, New River Gorge. So plan is to maintain good volume. The time on feet, I'm not too concerned with. It would probably be, 4 to 5 hours of running out there, which is fine. It's just I got to get some elevation in again. I get about 5,000 elevation feet a week. The race is 5,000 feet of elevation gain. So today is just a recovery day. I went 30 miles for my long run yesterday to prepare, and then probably Wednesday I'll do some sort of a hill workout, but I want to get some good recovery mileage in this morning. We're just going to do 8 miles, some nice time on feet, and test out the new product here, the new Tempus. Let's do it. Bro, are you serious? Oh my gosh. He's literally trying to trip me up. This chicken situation has gotten out of hand. Man, more Carolina sunshine. I love it. All right, early overreaction of the Tempus 2 here. This is just a solid shoe. This goes into the category of solid workhorse shoes. It's not a speed shoe. It's not a super max stack shoe. It's not a race shoe. It's just a really solid daily trainer. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad about this shoe. It's one of those shoes that's just gonna get the job done. But the thing is, you also have the race foam, which makes it a step above standard. Not $160. I do want a step above. Question for me is, would I take this in my rotation for easy miles over the Nimbus or over the Skyflow? I'm not sure. It does provide something different. It is in that Goldilocks zone, and it's comfortable. And good bounce from that race foam. This is just a solid, reliable shoe. There's nothing to overreact to. First straightaway here, my legs are actually feeling pretty good. I'm guessing tomorrow is when I'm gonna feel the brunt of that 3.5 hour long workout. But this is the type of shoe that makes up the bulk of the market. These one do-it-all shoes is what most people need to get started. And for that, Tempus is great. It's another one like the 860, where if someone's looking for a running shoe to get started, just pick up a pair of these and you'll be great. It's a great daily trainer right here. Putting in big work today. Let's go. Keeping the streets safe. Mile 1, 8:10 pace. We're getting some true recovery in this morning. Just keeping it super relaxed. And this is great. Now, the difference between this shoe and what I would pull for if I weren't testing something is the cushion. This is not a max cushion shoe. It does have some ground feel in the front because this race foam compresses a lot, which can be a good thing, and it keeps the weight low. Now remember, the weigh-in, the Hurricane was about 50 grams more. What is that? 20% more? 15% more in weight? So what you're lacking in protection, you're getting back in lightweight. So it's all about trade-offs. If you're the person who wants one shoe, this is gonna be great because it can do everything. If you have a rotation, you might not be pulling for this that often, at least for this type of a run. For true recovery, I like my Super Max stack shoes.
Mile 2, 7:34. We are cruising. Anytime I run in this power run PB, whether it's in the Tempus or the Hurricane or the Endorphin Pro 4, I'm just confused how the Triumph 22 ended up so disappointing. Something about the way that they tuned that foam, just a huge bummer. So this is great. This is real power run PB. It's bouncy, energetic off the forefoot, and I love what they've done. We have the soft heel on the bottom and then the softer foam on the top. It's the best of both worlds with the dual foam. So this is just a great shoe. If you want a little bit of ground feel and a nice energetic package, this will get the job done. The one thing is with the upper update, if they're gonna make the effort to do that and put out a new shoe, which I know, look at this, they put it out and then it forces me to review it. It forces, not forces, but it encourages me to review it. It gets it bumped back up. No one was gonna put the Tempus OG on their best of 2024 list, but now that they released a new model, it can be in the conversation again. I'm just confused, why didn't they come up with better colors? Upper update, they could have made it look cool as well. But instead, we have this plain Jane assortment. No ASAP Ferg. Oh man, a hill. I am not hunting elevation today. I'm gonna take this low and slow. And I love a good recovery run. Just get out here, move the legs, feel all those little aches melt away. It's nice. Somebody asked me yesterday, they were looking at my cadence. I guess Strava tracks that, or it includes it in the event, and I guess my watch tracks it. And they said it was 170 for the 30 miles. And they asked me if I practiced that or worked on cadence. No, I don't work on cadence. I don't work on heart rate, man. I said this before. It's not about heart rate. It's about heart, and it's not about cadence. It's about consistency. If you come out here and run consistently, you run a fast run every week, you run a 2-hour run every week, and you get your daily runs up to 5 or 6 out of the 7 days of the week, all those other lagging indicators will improve. But there's no virtue in a lower cadence or a higher cadence in and of itself. The reason a higher cadence might be good is because it suggests a faster pace, if that's your goal. But the best way to improve pace is by consistent running. So those are the only 2 things I focus on. Or I guess 3. Mileage, pace, and volume. And when I say volume, I mean frequency. So I guess I don't mean volume at all. But getting the mileage up, getting the number of runs up per week, and then for workouts, focusing on pace, not heart rate or any of that. halfway through mile 4, we can safely say Saucony didn't mess anything up. It's still real race foam. Stability is still solid. And it's still an enjoyable ride. So great job, Saucony, putting in work on the Tempus too. Good protection on the downhill as well. This race foam is great. The Power MTB, landing more toward the heel on the downhill. Great bounce and squish. At mile 5 here, I'm not gonna do full on strides because I ran 30 miles yesterday, but quick surge right now, and this feels great still. So still awesome for picking up the pace as well. I thought that guy was strapped for a second. Open carry on the right hip. Turns out it was just a Motorola Razor. But man, people get on me sometimes for running and reviewing shoes on tired legs when I think they're just frustrated or disappointed that I don't like shoes when I'm running on them with tired legs. But here's the thing, the best shoes, Skyward X, Glycerin Max, Mag Max, even Asics Nimbus, Audi Zero SL2. They don't have to be super expensive, but the best shoes feel great no matter how much juice I have. And this is going into that category. Honestly, I thought I was done with the on the run commentary, but then I was realizing I ran 30 yesterday. I'm on mile 6 here. And this shoe is giving me a lot of pop. This is a great recovery shoe. And the other benefit is it's not super heavy. It's not heavy at all. So if you want a recovery running shoe that's lightweight, man, this is a banger. Deer spotting. Mafia. Yeah, that was 7:20 pace. I thought I was just gonna be cruising at 7:40 or 7:50 today. And we got a huge hill coming up. Let's go. They're still trying to box me in and say I'm just a shoe tuber, but guess what? We've been running so many hills, we've been elevating so hard, we're gonna smash through that PIBA ceiling. Smash it. Hills, baby. Make America elevate again. Let's go. Whew. Another beautiful day. More Carolina sunshine today. I love to see it. The thing is, people keep asking me, why do you have so much sun? It's not, trust me, it's not going to be like this. Once we get to January, February, it's going to be rainy 20 out of 30 days. It's crazy. But we got to enjoy the sunny boy fall. Carolina sunshine, autumn, flexing on them. Dude, Charlie got the Justin's chocolate peanut butter, and apparently she told me Mason said, yeah, flexing on him. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to stop just speaking in straight shenanigans. All right, 8 miles, 8.23, look at that. That's a Kobe Jordan, 7-minute and 42-second pace. This thing is great, man. I think I was kind of sleeping on it. And I was late to the Tempus party. I didn't get my first pair of Tempus until this summer, so 2 years after it released. But I can see why this thing is a cult hit. And man, if you missed the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, this has a lot of the elements of the Speed 3. And oh, how did it get so dirty today?
I don't think I've ever seen a shoe get this dirty on a first run. I'll wipe it down. But yeah, it has a lot of elements of Speed 3. It has the nice rocker, the softness of this Power Run PB. It is a really good shoe. This is a great shoe. The midsole is essentially perfect, so I understand why Saucony didn't change it. My one critique is the looks and the colorways. Just give us a solid colorway. All white with a gum sole would have been good. Just something different. And I know I chose this gray colorway, but it was just the least bad. I felt this was the least bad colorway. There was a bright orange one that was not good. Let me throw up all the Running Warehouse colorways right here. It was just not great. I think this one is probably the best. This gray. But enough colorway talk. Let's get this breakdown in.
And being able to run on tired legs and recover, that's what sets apart great marathoners and ultra marathoners and long distance endurance athletes, Ironman triathletes from people who are more specialized and better at the short distances and who can't convert. To be able to be a great marathoner or I don't know anything about ultra marathons. I just signed up for one, but to be able to be a great marathoner, man, all the great marathoners run 100, 120, 130 plus miles a week and recover and are able to handle that volume. So 30-mile long run yesterday, 8 miles this morning. I probably could have gone 10 to 12, but here's the thing. That was my first time ever going 30. I want to be on the more conservative side, so this is what we did. Bada boom, bada bang. Let's throw it up. 8-mile recovery run, average 740 pace. My fastest mile was a 720. Picked it up on the flat there. My slowest mile out of the gates, I don't really count the first mile, but around 8:10, and I think my other slowest mile was a 750 or something. So I was right around that 740 range. That is typically my recovery range. And I'm telling you, man, if you're not doing recovery runs and your marathon training, add them in. Add in 30 to 45 minute recovery runs, just very relaxed. That's what we were doing this morning. It helps, well, a few things, but it helps get the volume up. It helps strengthen the muscles and get the body used to the repetition of running. It helps reinforce the system of running. And there's also physiological benefits, like bang, we're getting this infusion now of growth hormone. And it also helps to sleep correctly and fuel correctly, which I'll do after this. But 8 miles in the Tempus V2 here. I do not know why this thing is so dirty. I must have splashed in some puddles or something, but this is a great shoe. This is a great shoe, and the reason I'm talking about tired legs this, tired legs that, is because the best shoes perform well on tired legs. And that is the ethos of my channel. I'm running a lot of mileage, and I'm testing to find the best shoes. And a lot of the shoes out there, I said this yesterday in the Evo SL video, the 30-mile long run, a lot of the shoes out there, and I was just picking random ones, On Cloud Runner, Saucony Ride, Topo Cyclone, a lot of those shoes, regardless of foam, regardless of stack height, can perform great for up to 30 minutes, or for me, on a standard run, which is 10 miles. That's my standard run length. A lot of shoes can do that. Any budget shoe, you walk into a Dick's Sporting Goods, you get the cheapest Nike, that's gonna feel fine for 30 minutes. Nike Pegasus, another great example. That's gonna feel fine for an hour. It's gonna feel fine walking around. But once you start stress testing these shoes, once you start increasing the mileage, going 2 hours, or like we did today, I did 3.5 hour long run today, and then an hour this morning. Once you start having that be the use case, and you are running more on tired legs, you'll start to see these shoes fall apart. Shoes that perform well at the shorter distances, like that Saucony Ride, for example, once you start cranking up the mileage, they just cannot. They cannot hang. But this thing is like a Toyota. Look at that. That's a Toyota Camry. This is a little bit zestier than a Toyota Camry. I'm not gonna hit it with the Toyota Camry. This is a really low-key banger. I'm gonna try to think of the right car comparison for this one, but this is a solid shoe. The one thing I have to test that I'm not sure about from the first generation was the grip was horrible. The grip on the Saucony Hurricane was also horrible, so it's probably still horrible here. That's the major downside. Now, there's 3 use cases that I think this shoe is gonna be great for. So actually, before we get into this, let me talk about the ride real quick. So it's soft, it's bouncy, a little bit of flexibility and ground feel up in the front, more than you might expect for a shoe like this. Now, this is not a max stack shoe. This is a daily trainer, but it is a very fun, peppy ride from this race foam. So look at this. This is race foam up in the top. This is race foam, and I want to go to sleep just looking at this colorway. Oh my God, I don't know why I got this colorway. This is the most boring colorway. They should have just gone fully gray. Just gray me down, baby. Just give me that full gray bay. I would have loved to see that. But yeah, race foam in the back, race foam in the front. It gives it a lot of pep. And on mile 8, let's start with these splits again, or mile 7 to 8, I could feel, wow, it feels like the shoe is just getting warmed up. And that's what I'm saying about running on tired legs. Having the benefit of this race foam helps negate that tired sensation. Because foams that are flatter, firmer, not as exciting, they're not gonna help fight back as much. And a great way to test that is either doing something like a 20-mile long run or running on tired legs. So the first thing that this shoe would be great for, and the type of buyer, is if you want a recovery shoe for high mileage, like I did this morning. If you're running a lot of mileage and you want something that's not super stacked, because something like the Puma Mag Max, that's a great recovery shoe, that's a great mileage shoe, but it is heavy on foot. And some days I just do not want to run in a heavy, clunky shoe, and I also want the benefits of support. And if you look at the Venn diagram of lightweight shoes and support shoes, there's not going to be a lot of lightweight supportive shoes in the middle there. These lighter weight shoes like the Rebels and the Machs of the world, they're designed for speed, and there's always going to be a trade-off. And when we're picking running shoes, we want to minimize trade-offs, or we want to just have 38 running shoes like some people do, right? So if you do want to minimize trade-offs, this is a great product because it has the stability, it has the fun, and it has the lightweight. Lightweight and stable are not typically associated, because the lighter you go, the less foam you have, the less support is going to be in the shoe. So if you're running a lot of mileage and you want a lightweight, stable recovery shoe, this would be great. And every runner should have something stable and supportive in their arsenal, whether that's a max stack shoe like a Super Blast, if that works well for you for relaxed miles, or it's a New Balance 860. Everyone should have something supportive that feels easy to run in, and this is great. So I'll definitely pull for this again. I'm 100% gonna run in this again. It was a really nice ride. Any day where I'm beat up and I want something lightweight, bada boom, bada bang. Second thing that this would be great for, if you are a newer runner and you just want one shoe to do everything: walking, gym, laundromat, grocery store. I'm trying to think of other things people do. Coffee shop, restaurants, post office. If you want a shoe for everything, running, non-running, this is gonna be great. And especially if you want a shoe that can do it all for running, this is gonna be a complete banger. The thing is, a lot of the shoes that can do it all for running, we think about Hoka Mach X2, Asics Super Blast, Hoka Skyward X. They feel super weird on foot for regular life. This is more stripped down, streamlined. It has the two types of foam for support, but it's not super bulky on foot. Again, something like the Mag Max, I would not wanna be pulling up to USPS to drop off some hobby jogger hat packages in the Mag Max. But this, I might take this out. Now, this colorway is the blandest thing I've seen all year, so I'm probably not gonna wear this casually. But if you could find a colorway that's less boring somewhere, or if you can get the women's colorway, they have some great women's colorways of this, you're gonna be great. So it's gonna be able to do short runs. In the last version of the shoe had the same midsole. I took it up for a 20 or a 21 mile long run, and it did great. I've picked up the pace in it, done some workouts. It can do absolutely everything. So if you want a first half marathon shoe or a marathon shoe, this is going to be awesome. Yes, you could even run your first marathon in this. This is the type of shoe where you could just pick it up and do every single run out of the week. The drop isn't too high. It's an 8mm drop. There's nothing awkward or weird about it, and it has the support built in that would make me feel comfortable. If someone is just gonna do one shoe for all their runs and they're running 3-4 times a week, I'd be completely comfortable with you picking this up and having this as your one do-it-all shoe. Now, the third group of people this is gonna be great for is if you want a lightweight speed shoe and you need a stability shoe. So Tempus I think I got a hangover from 30 miles. The Tempus started off its life as a stability shoe. It still is a stability shoe, but as we talked about in there, man, the stability market and the neutral market, the lines are getting blurred. You have shoes like the Nova Blast 4 that are super wide and stable. Even the Hoka Mach X2, as I showed you in there, has some elements of stability. It almost looked like the Brooks Adrenaline with how the foam wrapped up the sides of both of those shoes, right? So this did start off as a stability shoe. It does have the cradle, it does have support on the inside here, like classic stability shoes, but it has, bada boom, the Power Run PB. So if you want a shoe to run fast in, if you typically do your everyday miles in something like the Brooks Glycerin 21 GTS, or a New Balance Bongo, or any traditional stability shoe, Nike Zoom Structure 25, this is going to be the fastest and lightest out of all of those shoes, other than the Brooks Hyperion 2 GTS. I have not tested the GTS version. I have tested the standard version. That's also great. Difference here is this is way more supportive. The Hyperion 2 is very stripped down. It's also firmer. This is softer. Those are two great stability shoes though. So it's really, what flavor do you want? Do you want way lower profile, firmer, really lightweight shoe, or are you okay with having a touch more weight but getting the soft bounce and the race foam out of this? So if you're a stability runner, this is going to be great for marathon training. If you want something for your tempo runs, your interval days, even your long runs, this is going to be awesome. So lightweight recovery shoe, one do-it-all shoe, or a stable speed shoe, Tempus 2. I'm really happy with this thing. I know it's going to be a sleeper just because it's $160. Saucony didn't do a great job with the rollout. They really didn't. They should have done a bigger campaign, something like the Legend Returns, the Icon. They should have done a bunch of cool colorways. They didn't even, I really barely even knew it released on Running Warehouse. They just kind of pushed it out on, I think it was July or August. So yeah, it's not going to be a super hyped shoe. And the first one was decently hyped. They did a bad job marketing it, but it's a great product and they didn't mess it up. So if you're looking to replace your last Tempus, this would be great. There's nothing exactly else like it on the market. So if you like the first Tempus, definitely just get this. If you want a stability shoe, this is going to be great. The 860 is a touch firmer. Neither of them are firm shoes, but the 860 is a touch firmer and more robust feeling. This does feel soft, especially in the back and in the front here. I know back in the front, but the middle is where you get the most of that, the firm foam. But if you're landing on the heel, it's soft. If you're landing on the forefoot, it's soft. It's just a great shoe. So I highly recommend it if you want a stability shoe. I'll do more testing on it, but I do know just from the hobby jogger community, these things will last 300, 350 plus miles. They're fairly durable. The one downside is going to be the grip. Other than that, not really a major downside. And as I talked about earlier, it doesn't feel all that different from the Tempus 1. I don't know. The upper is softer, might be even less breathable in the summer, but good padding still and good comfort. So let me know what other questions you have on the Tempus 2. Let me know what other shoes you want to see on the channel. That's all I have for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. What do you think? Was I too harsh on the colorway? I don't know if I'm being too harsh on the colorway. It's fine. It's just, man, it's just so dull looking. It's just so dull looking. It doesn't need to look like a Hoka, but just give me something. Give me some pop. There's no pop here. There's no pop. Can you just give me an all white?
All right, man, refuel today. I was just listening to some Babyface Ray. We have the legendary, I mean, look at these things. Absolutely legendary blueberry oatmeal bake, homemade. You have the oatmeal, you have the blueberries. Oh, Charlie's coming in. I'm just hyping it up way too much. But this, I'm telling you, this is legendary. This is legendary. Oh, she's back. How's the Super Blast? She said they were great. We got a Super Blast Cabal member in the house. What brand is your quarter zip? We need to make Supwell quarter zips.